Hey crafty family, it is me, and today we are going to make some really pretty flowers out of various things, out of stuff you probably have sitting in your craft room that you're not using. So that's what we're going to make flowers out of. We're going to make these type of flowers, which are really pretty, and these were really easy to make, and there's no excuse why you can't make those. And then there's this one, also shouldn't be any excuse why you can't make that. And these two. Again, you probably have these at home and we will use them. Okay, so first thing we're going to make are these little roundy, circly flower thingies. Yeah, those. That's what we're going to use. Now you can do several different things to make these flowers. You will need a hole punch or something that will cut circles. And I mean, you could hand cut circles if you want, like stack some paper up, hand cut circles. You need two different sizes. It doesn't really matter what the sizes are as long as it's one bigger size, one smaller size. So like I did it with a 1-inch punch, and then I think this is a 5/8 punch. So, but you could do it with a 3/4 punch and a 1/2-inch punch. You could do it with a 1.5 inch and a 1-inch punch. You know what I mean? As long as one circle is smaller than the other. That's the only difference that you actually need something for this is the punch, which I keep putting my fingers in the glitter, which is not dry yet, apparently. So, but there's two ways that you can go about getting your papers to do this. One of the ways, which is how I did these three, is to take a piece of copy paper, and that's all I used was copy paper. Now, yes, I crinkled it up. Because I thought it would give it a cute effect, but it actually doesn't because it doesn't show up. So don't bother crinkling it. You don't have to do that. I crinkled it up thinking it would give, I didn't know what I was going to do. But anyway, so I just sprayed a bunch of sprays. You know, just ink sprays, whether it was Lindy's or Glimmer Mist or your homemade sprays. I just sprayed a whole bunch of different colors, some that have shimmer, some that don't. And then obviously, as you can see, I cut out my different circles. Okay, so we're going to make some like that. That's how I did these three. Okay, and then these here, which I keep putting my hand in the glitter. Glitter's wet. This one here, I only made one so far because we're going to make more of these. But this, I use my scraps, my pattern paper scraps, which I have in my box here. So that's what I use. So that's what you're going to use too. So you get your scraps out, and that's how we make it. It doesn't really matter what it looks like because these scraps are like such a mishmash. I did not try to match them. I just was like, screw it. I'm just going to throw a whole bunch of patterns. But what makes it all cohesive, because when you do this, what makes it all cohesive is when you go around the edges with like a glitter glue, or you could do it with like a paint pen, which that one's not working, this one. Like a paint pen, because that's how I did it on these, because like here there's all different colors, but if I did the white around all the petals, it makes a big difference. Okay, so let's start with those. I'm going to start with the scrap one because most people have a buttload of scraps lying around, and I'm going to go through here real quick. I'll put that over there for it to dry. I'm going to go through and I'm going to find a few pieces of scrap paper that I would like to use. Let's see. Let's use some of this. I'll just rip off a piece. And you don't have to be all matchy-matchy. It doesn't matter. Some of these aren't scrap papers necessarily. You don't have to be all, I'm just grabbing and ripping pieces off. You don't have to be all precise and matchy-matchy. They kind of look better if you don't matchy-match them and you just kind of grab whatever. To me, they kind of look better that way. I mean, if you don't plan on putting the glitter on or the that's good enough. If you don't plan on putting something around each petal, then you might want to match it. But if you don't want to match it and you just want to use random scraps, and when you put the things around the glitter around it, like there's every color in the rainbow here. There's orange, there's green, there's purple, there's pink, there's brown, there's yellow, there's blue, there's all kinds of colors, but when you put the glitter on it, that's what makes it all go cohesive, and it gets really cool looking. So what you're going to need is 6 of the larger circle, whichever larger circle you choose. So you're going to do 6 of the larger and 4 of the smaller. So I'm going to do 6 circles. I'm going to do different colors for each one. So I'm going to do like 1. Obviously, I would sit and do them all out of 1, but I'm just going to show you 1 for example purposes. But I would sit here and punch out all of them, so I just had a stack of circles. But I won't do that right now because we'll be here all day. And this one. And this one. So how many do I got? And I've got this one here. And I've got this one here. Alright, so how many do I got? I just need 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's good. Okay, so there's 6 random colors and papers right there. And then I already have some punched out of the circles. 1, 2, 3, 4. Actually, I like that one. It's got polka dots and the thing. Okay. Whoops. Okay, that's fine. Don't have to be picky about it. Doesn't matter. Some of these have 2 pieces of paper because I had glued. It was a scrap that I had glued like collage on, and it was an extra piece of collage scrap, and since it was small, it would fit my little tiny punch. So that's why I don't have to punch them out, because I already punched a bunch of them out of there and I still had a lot left. But it was originally, that's why there's 2 different pieces of paper on each one, because it was like one of those, like when I was doing Scrap Monsters or something, where it had like, here's a piece of it, where it has like all different types of papers, because I collaged it. That's why I don't have to punch any out right now. But you would just punch out just like you did the big ones. You would punch out the small ones. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to arrange these in a like circle-y pattern, where you just overlap one after the other and hold it in the middle. Like so. Now if you want one specific one on the top, you can kind of maneuver it around, like kind of like the black one on the top. And you just get it so that it's kind of a circle. You know, kind of a, sort of a circle. Like that. Just as you start going around, you'll see. It'll work out. Now, for this, I took a tiny stapler. Where is it? It's buried. I took this tiny stapler and I stapled it in the middle. You don't have to do this. You can glue it, and I'll show you, because even after I staple it, because it doesn't always get all of them, I still go back and glue it, but that's just to help me hold it. If you have a large stapler, like a regular stapler that does the large staples, then don't do this, because your staple will end up being too big. But if you have like the tiny attacher stapler thing, then you can do this. So anyway, whoops, I spun that out of there. Anyway, what you can do is just turn it over when you're done and take your glue, like this is Aleene's Turbo Tacky, and just start going under all of the, going under towards the center of all the petals. Don't do it right towards the outside of it, if that makes sense. Go in towards the center, because you want to kind of leave it so that I can lift them up on the sides. So you're just going to go like, and push your nozzle in a little bit and squirt some glue. You can use hot glue if you want, just be careful that you don't use too much hot glue. Okay, so once you got that done, that's all you got to do. I staple it and glue it, and then I just glue these things, because these are easy. This part's easy. You just take 4 of them and put it around in its own little circle like this. Because that's going to be like your center. And you can do the same thing, turn it over. You can hot glue it and just kind of, if you have a nozzle on your glue bottle like I do, it makes it easier. Otherwise, you could do one at a time. And these you could do up to the edge, it doesn't matter. But you can hot glue and do like one at a time if you wanted to. Like you could put one on, then layer another one with a little hot glue, and you could do the same thing with these. Layer it like on the thing. I'll show you on another one. I'll do it that way. And then I'm going to put this here so you can see better. And then I usually would hot glue the top part onto the bottom part. Like that. And glue it on. And just push it down. Now you'll notice that it kind of looks like a mishmash of crap. It doesn't look very good right now. It just doesn't have any definition to it. But this is where the glue comes in, the glitter glue. You take your stickles and you go around. I start in the middle and I just go around all the edges of all the petals with the glitter glue. Just what you can see of them, obviously, because some of them you'll get half circles or whatever. And something magical happens when you do this, I noticed. It starts to look like it belongs. It doesn't look like a mishmash of just random papers anymore. It's pretty remarkable what happens, because it just makes it look totally different. Just be careful that you don't touch the glue. You could put a thinner amount. You don't have to put as much as I do. Or if you don't have glitter glue, you can use paint. Like a paint pen, or if you have a fine line. Look how different it looks now compared to what it did before. And when it dries, I lift up the petals on the sides. Like I lift them up a little bit so it has like a little concave in it. So I'm going to set this aside to dry. And hopefully it'll dry by the end of the video. So that's one. Now we'll do another one out of the copy paper. That was one out of scrap. Out of your old scraps. But now, we'll use copy paper. Tempted to keep these because they're colorful. I'm so crazy for keeping all this stuff. I really shouldn't, but I really like the colors and I'd like to collage them. I have a little bit of an obsession with collaging papers that are like, you know, I don't know. I just do it. So I need 6, 1, and I try to get different colors, like 2, and then I'll go like over here, 3, 4, and then what do I get here? I got pinks and purples and blues. Let's do 5, 6, and then I'll punch out my little ones too. I'm going to do 4 little ones, and I really want to get over here because I want some of the sparklies. This is very sparkly in here, so okay. So you can kind of coordinate it, or you don't have to. It's up to you. Either way, it's still going to look better once you edge it with something, whether it's paint. And you can also do like the paint in the fine line bottles. Like here, this is black paint, you know, and you can edge it in the paint like that. So you can do it that way too. I just don't want to make a mess. And maybe I'll do one with black paint because they look cool that way too. So again, you're going to take your pieces and I'm going to put them in a sort of circle. like that. And just adjust them as you need to until it gets to be where you want it to be. Like, spread them out a little bit more. You can make it a little bigger, and if like I said, here we'll do it where I glue it as we go. So basically I would start with 3 and put them like this. This is gluing it as we go, and I would just do, ugh, my glue loves to get stuck in this bottle here a little bit because I forget to shut it. So you do 1, 2, as long as you go a little bit down and don't go straight across. Don't be tempted to go straight. Go down a little bit with the other one. Like that. So it forms like a little, like this pattern, like a smiley face pattern, where it goes like this. And then you can add on the next one. Actually, put this one. And since if you use wet glue, you have a little more play time, even though I'm using turbo tacky glue, which isn't the best for having play time because it dries pretty quickly. But, and then you just put your last one on, and voila, there you go. And it actually sometimes comes out better if you do it that way. But if you're in a rush like me, then I'll just staple it and then go back and put the rest on. And then you could do the same thing with your things, determine which one you want down first. So, okay, sorry, my phone, or my camera shut off. Anyway, I got the base down, and now I just put one of the tiny ones. And now I'm going to put one of the other tiny ones. And the next one. And the next one. And so it still looks like, you know, you can't see anything. It still looks too much like a mishmash pile, but this time I'm going to take the black paint and go around each one. You can use a black paint, paint marker, paint pen, whatever. You don't have to use one of these. You can use black, white, sparkle, whatever you want. You don't even have to be perfect about it. Of course, this will take a little longer to dry. And there you go. And then when it's dry, you're going to lift up the edge petals, and it comes out really cute. Again, I'm going to set this aside so it will dry. So yeah, so like I said, you can use white paint, black paint, any color you want, any contrasting color that's going to pop and show up. You don't want to use like the same exact color that all the paper is, so I wouldn't have wanted to use purple or pink unless it was a sparkle, because then it would pop regardless. Okay, where is my pin? That goes in my, there it is. I like to put a pin in this one. Okay, so that's those two flowers. Scrapbook and just regular old copy paper, which most everybody has. Now we're going to move on to the baby wipe flowers, which is what these are. These are baby wipe flowers. And these are super easy to make too. I'm sure a lot of you, just like me, we save our baby wipes. And they come out really pretty, and you can add some more things to it, like in other words, like let's say I wanted to add a little more sparkle to the baby wipe. I can, that's a flat, let's see. Like, oh, where's that pink one at? Here, nope. I just had it. Just had it. Where'd it go? Well, am I going crazy? Oh, there it is. Silly goose. So you can add, like if this one doesn't have enough sparkle for you, then just add a few sprays of something with a little sparkle to kind of, and let it dry a few seconds. And so you could go over, like if it hasn't got enough on it and you want to be able to utilize the whole thing. I know it sounds silly to go through and re-spray your your baby wipes, but you know, a couple little sprays can make all the difference. So you do stuff like that. Like this one I like because it's got a lot of sparkle. I don't know if you could see it because whatever I put on there was really sparkly. So I really like that one. I like this one, but not to go with the pink. So I'll probably use these two. I'm going to hit this with the heat gun a little bit to dry it. And you want to be careful that if you're hitting it with your heat gun, that you don't melt it. And yes, there is I've done the melted flowers, but these type of baby wipes are thicker. They don't work as well. You need the cheapy kind, the kind that you get at the dollar store. These are not the ones that you get at the dollar store, so that's why I don't do that with these. So anyway, now what you're going to do is you're going to determine how big or how little your flower is going to be. And I'll show you for each one that I did. Where'd it go? For this one, I folded the flower. I folded the thing. Baby wipe, that's it. Not a flower. It's a baby wipe. I folded it. And then I folded it again. And then I cut this circle out of it. Okay? That's how I cut the big circle. Okay, and then when I wanted to do the littler circles, like the medium-sized circle, which was these here. Okay, that's the middle one in there. I cut it, or I did it in thirds. So I would go 1, 2. I'd cut it in, do it in thirds, and then do it in thirds again. And make sure you get it as even as you can. So I'll cut these. Then you take I just flatten it out a little bit in my hands, push it, and then you just do it. It doesn't have to be straight. It doesn't have to be perfect. All you're doing is making a decent, just crap. It doesn't even have to be decent, just because you can adjust it as you go. But you're just going to make a circle. And you want a decent pair of scissors to do it. And if you have to go back and adjust it a little bit, you can. Turn it over sometimes because it might be a little easier to see where you need to kind of adjust, a little bit. And then just chuck that in the trash. And now you've got your middle flowers. Now your little flowers, you're going to, how did I do this now? For the small ones, this is to get the most out of one baby wipe. I folded it in half, folded it in half, and then I think I folded it in half again. So I folded it in half 3 times, and instead of trying to cut through all of this to get my petal, I cut this in half. And then I did circle out of this one and then circle out of this one. So that's how I did the little circle. So the only one that was weird is the middle one, because you fold it in thirds, but the rest of them you fold them in halves. 2 halves or 3 halves to get the big circle, and like, what was it, 4 halves or whatever to get the little circle. And then the middle circle is in thirds. So then I would cut this one the same way, which I'm not going to worry about right now. And then of course, as you open them all up, then you've got your pretty circles. Sometimes you'll get some that are stuck together. It's okay. Just unstick them and just adjust them however you need to. If you got one that's got like a little edge, just adjust it. Like this one's a little wonky, just go, oh, okay, wonky, fix it. There you go. But they don't have to be perfectly symmetrical. So once you got all your circles, oh, and the big one, like I said, which I didn't cut any big ones because I didn't want to cut any more big ones, but you would do this, just fold it once, twice, and then cut your big one. Okay, so that's how I got the big one. First you take your big one, then you take one of your medium ones, which this one needs to be rounded up just a little bit more. Get off my scissors. Every time I go to cut. There we go. And then you just take one on top. And now if you don't like the fact that there's so much space between the big one and the middle one, you can go around and just kind of give it a haircut and trim it a little bit off, which I did in some. I know I shouldn't do that and it doesn't really matter. You know, it really doesn't matter. But, yeah. So that's what you do. And then you can do one of two things. You can stick a brad through the center, or you can just hot glue the layers really easily. Go like that, go like that. Stick something in the center, like a little, let's see if I got a little sparkly bit. Here we go, sparkly bit. Pull off any glue strings. Or if you, oh, or I have the flowers. I have these little flowers. I wonder if this would look cute. No, it won't show up on that one. Alrighty. Just hot glue a little doodad, and there you go. So there you got your little flower. Cute, easy, fun, right? Easy. These are great for like, because I know everybody's going to say, well, what do you do with them? Put them on your mixed media projects. Glue them down, make little string stems, glue that down, make little spring cards, you know, make a card, put this on the front of the card, put 2 or 3 of them on with some string or baker's twine coming from them as a stem, and then put spring has sprung or cute little saying, and you've got a really easy card. So those are easy. And then to make the other one, to make this one, it's so easy. You're going to take a piece of cardstock and you're going to punch out a circle, or just cut out a little circle or a square even. As long as it's like around an inch. Inch to inch and a quarter is fine. Anything around there. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. It's just meant for a guide. So you put the circle down. And then what you do is you take your petal. You're going to use the medium and the small ones. So let's say these and the small ones, not the big ones. And what you're going to do is you're going to find the nicest side. So this side's got all the glitter on it. So I'm going to put this side down. You're going to put the nicest side of it down. So if you want the glitter to show on this side, then I'm going to put it down in my hand. And actually I'm going to make a little, like with my fingers, you see how I have them bunched up and I poked it in? Like that coffee filter kind of look, where when you stuff a coffee filter into the thing, it does that. You're going to do that. Then you're going to take, now you don't have to use hot glue for this. You can use a drop of any kind of quick drying glue, like the Aleene's stuff or whatever. You're just going to want to use like a clothespin to pinch it when you're done until it dries. But I'm not afraid of the glue gun, so I put a little drop of glue in there, and then I just kind of smush it like this. You just smush it, and however it goes, it goes. It'll give you a little fold, a little puff. So that's what you're doing. But what's nice is now the sparkle is all on the outside. So whatever nice side you have. So you're going to do that to 4 of them. So you find which one you like better. I guess that side. And you're going to take your fingers like this, my dirty fingers, and you're going to make like a little pedestal. That's your little pedestal. You're going to put it in the middle, and then you're going to push it, and it's going to do this. Okay? That one's a little bent, but it's okay. And then you're going to take a little hot glue and put just a little drop in the center, and then squish it. Just squish it however it'll squish. Like this one decided to squish this way. Doesn't matter. Just squish it. That just gives it its fluffiness. It doesn't matter because it just gives it its fluffiness around here. Okay, so we'll do another one. I'm going to do these lighter ones. Okay, that's the nice side, so I'm going to put that side down, make my little pedestal, push it in, and put a little glue, and then squish it. Doesn't matter kind of which way you do it. It'll pretty much end up the same. Sometimes it'll open up a little bit more, and then you can, before you put it down, you can just fold over an edge. It doesn't really matter. Like you'll see, it doesn't really matter. It's all going to turn out the same as long as you just give it that little squish. It'll be fine. Doesn't matter if the petal is messed up. None of that matters. So put it in my pedestal, squish it. And then push it. Squish it and push it and squish it and push it. And the baby wipes are thick enough so that if you only put a little drop of glue, you're not really going to burn yourself. Now you're going to take 4 of the medium sized. So again, the side that you want facing, you're going to put down, and you're going to do the same thing. Make little taco, burrito, gordita, whatever you want to call it. And you're going to push them down too. And it'll look like a hot mess, but that's the point. Okay, little hot mess. Okay, so I want that side down. Put my little tortilla. That's what it looks like, a tortilla. There we go. I'm making my little tortillas. Wrong side. I'll put that side. Put my tortilla in. And one more tortilla. Okay, tortillas are done. Very easy. It takes seconds. Like I can blow through one of these flowers so fast. Okay, then you're going to take it and you're going to pick the fluffiest side that's up. So this side is very flat. It doesn't have much fluff to it. This side's got all the folds. That side's going to go up. And then I'll show you on here so you can see. Here's my circle. Because it's white on white, so it's going to be hard to see. Okay, so there's my circle. You don't have to do this. I'm just showing this as an example. That's how they're going to go on. One, the corners of it, like here's the fluffy part and here's the corner. A corner, 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 corner. So you're going to butt them in together like that. Glue them one at a time. Of course, the fluffy side stays up. Put a little hot glue just on the tip and put it in one of the, meeting into the center. Like a little pizza pie. Like we're making the pizza. Or we're taking the pieces of the pizza and putting them back into the pizza. 4 pieces. Now, if you get one that's really long and that's like folded like that, just take the little bit of glue and fold over the edge a little bit and then just glue it down. I like to do it across from each other and then next, and then across, and then obviously across from each other again. Like that. Now we're doing the medium-sized ones, not the small ones first. So this one's like that. So I'm going to do the flat side. And it doesn't have to be perfectly in the middle or anything. It just has to be shoved in there somehow. And then here's another one that folds on top. That's what we want. This one has a fold on the back too, but the fold on the top on this one was fluffier. So that's what you do. Now you're going to do the same thing, except where the creases are, like where the parts where they meet, you're going to put the other little ones now. So now the little ones are going to go into the middle, but in the middle, in between the two of the bigger ones that we just did. Put the glue on the flat side. And don't worry, we'll go in and adjust it. Again, here's the This one doesn't really have as much of a folded side, so I kind of move it around and make it so that there's a folded side. If they overlap a little bit, that's fine. It'll add to the fluffiness. Add to the fluffy. Whoops, I dropped it. Okay, so now that you got all of them glued in. Now, you'll notice that over here, it looks a little bit wonky. It's not as nicely symmetry over here. So all you gotta do is go around the edge and just cut. Cut a little bit off to kind of make it a little more symmetrical, because all our circles were different sizes, so. And you could do that to the center too. If you have any in the center that are wonky, you can just kind of fold these back and cut like right here. Like fold it back and cut the little part off the center. Anything that bothers you or sticking out, but I'm fine with that. That's cute. They're not supposed to be perfect. And then you take a little gemstone of some sort. Let's see, do I have anything? I do, I have a pink one. That would be cute. Little pink gemstone. Stick it in the center. It's a really easy flower because once you get doing the little tacos in your hand, you can. I make those so fast. I'm just like, I just sit there and go, boom. I'm so fast at it now because I've done this with so many other flowers. That's how I like to make a lot of flowers. And I made my denim flowers like that. I've made tons of flowers like that. So it's very quick and easy to do. It's like a very quick flower to make, but pretty. But now, once all of the glue is dried, you will fluff it up and just kind of go around and fluff it. And like separate it a little bit so that it fluffs a little bit. And do the inside ones too. So that, there we go. Now you got some fluff to it. How cute is that? So that's how to make that one. This one I want to cut a little bit more. There we go. So there we go. And then there's two flowers that are made from baby wipes. Those and these. So I hope you enjoyed this video. And I hope you will give it a try. And especially right now, there is a challenge over in the Pink Poodle Playground, Creative Playground group on Facebook, which I'll put the link below. There's a challenge to do a spring card. And I think these would be perfect for your spring card. To make these little flowers and put them on the front. Put like one of these. Like let's say this is the front of the card, minus the little holes. Put like one of these, and one of these. Get out of here. Or bunch it up and put a couple overlapping each other. Like that. And then put little stems. You can either do it with glitter or with string or what, just draw it in. And then you have a card and you could put like spring has sprung or the flowers are blooming or blah, blah, blah. So that's the challenge. And there's going to be a winner chosen on the 22nd to get a little scrap prize pack from me that'll have some of my scraps for you to make stuff with, and maybe some baby wipes too. So, and then I might throw some other goodies in there too. So it's just a little giveaway if you enter the the challenge for this month. And you'll see the challenge up on the thing, and if you can't find it, ask somebody and they'll point you in the right direction in the group where to find the challenge. But yeah. So I hope you guys like this, and I hope you will subscribe if you're not subscribed. And if you are subscribed, make sure you hit the little bell notification next to the subscribe button so that you get notifications of when I do my videos and my live streams. Also, please give me a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. Make sure you check the description below for links to my group and to other things down there that are going to be useful. Yeah, so I hope you'll check those things out for me. I really appreciate it. Make sure you share this video with your friends in your craft groups, on your Facebook pages, Twitter, whatever. That helps me out a lot. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your week. Make sure you do what you love what you do, make some flowers. Have a happy Poodle week. Bye, guys.